saw in the video before that they'll probably slow down. Okay, they're reducing my form. By reducing testosterone, it's making me more like a female. Think about it. If I have less kind of sexual energy and testosterone flowing through my body, this masculine Nigerian energy and heterosexual kind of serious black guy say, hey, I'm a serious Nigerian kind of thing. But see how it affects my voice. They fuel my lungs. They fuel my lungs, poison me, reduce testosterone, and manipulate the video footage. So when I throw a blow, it's kind of like a gay guy. Going like this. You say, hey, that's a gay guy, right? And it lacks kind of testosterone, which affects the brain function, okay, and their ability to think clearly, okay, and to think as effectively as me. So as they go, fuck you, right, and I go, block, right, okay. Now even that block, right, where's the testosterone? Where's the Nigerian essence? Royal African Falcon Nigerian essence is not there, but we still see the frame of somebody who comes from generations of these guys. And they want to make you think it's hereditary, but it's preposterous. Think about it. Are you going to get a lion from a mouse from generations? Okay, now, are you going to get an effeminate lion, okay, from a long line of serious masculine lions? No. This effeminate gene comes from the effeminate tree. So when we look at Europe, for example, we look at Greece, we look at these guys who used to wrestle naked, and this kind of gay, it's like a gay strong guy who's in prison or something, a gay bodybuilder with a cartoon face. He's like, he's acting like a gay guy. He's like, but he's like, it's that particular kind of flexing, smiling white gay guy we see in bodybuilding. Okay, this is what frats and the royal families of Europe are modeled after. Okay, they're trying to make my energy more like that. They're trying to make my body more like them with tits and flabby muscles instead of the tight muscles that were characteristic of my martial arts style, the falcon. The falcon isn't a hippo. That's them. That's the European. Whites scrambled is Y set. Set's forms include the boar, the hippo, the snake, the donkey, the aardvark, okay, and so on and so forth, okay, the jackal, and so on and so forth. These are European-like guys. Think Luke Skywalker. He's like a jackal. Look at his face and his shape. Shape of his face. Look at his height. He's like a jackal, elf, gnome-ish looking person. We look at his face carefully. What does a young gnome look like? Okay. We look at Stone Cold. That's a bad example. Look at Fat Bastard from Austin Powers. He's like a huge hippo. We look at a cop. A cop is like a thicker person who likes to grapple people and handcuff them, right? And they're shaped like a boar, and they even have armor and all. These are the characteristic forms of Set, not the Nigerian, the thinner Nigerian who is more like a panther. The guy who played the Black Panther was an Igbo, of Igbo descent from one of the main states, I think it was South Carolina, where the Igbos, were taken on record. They have records of the slaves, okay? So that's because just like Jordan and Kobe and a lot of these other guys, they have Igbo DNA, which makes them athletic. So when you think about the athletic African, it's not so much the Ethiopian, the Somalian, the Sudanese, okay, the Kenyan, da. It's more Nigerian. It's more Niger, Benin to some degree. It's South Africa. There's certain places in Africa. That's also why it's preposterous to think that I have some kind of gay energy, okay? And you see how they're making a fool of themselves. Because when we think about this, like, the gay stuff, white people, when they get angry, they turn pink and red. And it's called pink, right? They're not black and African and sun shining on skin aggressive. They get mad and they get pink. They're like, hey, fuck you. It's like your teacher in school. Not the white teachers you've had in school. He's like, hey, man, I don't want you to do that anymore. Okay? It's kind of this kind of kind of whiny voice. I don't know how to describe it. I'm not trying to insult them so much. I'm trying to explain, and I do feel insulted by them. And perhaps that's influencing my explanation. But since I'm showing such great restraint, I think it's fair, and I'm sure we can all agree it's fair. Okay, so it's like Luke Skywalker. He's like, why didn't you tell me he was my father, right? And this guy's like 25 years old. I have a picture next to Luke Skywalker. I think I posted on this channel. If not, I'll post it another time, where I'm fucking 15 years old. I'm taller than him, and I'm more masculine than him at 15 years old. 15 years old. And these people are acting like they have sexual prowess, and women should be like, oh, go, and acting like bitches. You know what I'm saying? Now, first of all, my thing isn't arguing who has better sexual powers. I don't give a shit. I won't give a shit if they had better sexual powers. They don't, but I wouldn't care if they did. Because I'm a grown motherfucking man. I care about moral principle. If I was in a wheelchair with no dick and I'm the only one doing the right thing, I still should get the most attractive woman. She shows to look up to me and think everyone's a bitch that's too much of a coward to do the right thing. I'm a 100, I believe that with all my heart, all my mind, all my soul, just like I love God with all those things. Okay? These people are fucking lying to you. And they want you to believe that I'm more like them, and they're drugging me, which causes a reduction. They're keeping me from clean water. Okay? This was one of the hardest claims that I make to believe. You're saying there's water everywhere. How are they keeping you from clean water? Well, it has to do with the remotely activated substances. Back in like what, the 70s or whenever, they came out with the remote control cars. Okay, they came out with drones. You think they have all this remote control stuff and they can read your mind, but magically they can't tap into the water remotely and influence people's behaviors, sentiments, and beliefs, which is what psychological operations by definition are about. And look at the Cold War. It was about sports rivalry. It was about the arms race. They're doing things that have a psychological effect so that you would think that they're more ideal than the Russians. That's why Bruce Lee fought the Russian in Chinese Connection. That's why Zangief in Street Fighter 2 is so demonized. M. Bison. How often are Russians like the bad guys in movies? The Russian in the Punisher movie and the comic books. Okay? So they demonized black people way before Russians, and they never stopped. They want you to think that the white, gay-ish, fratish guy is ideal. And one of the ways they're doing that is they're trying to make me more like him and make me like a hand-me-down second rate, right? Rate of reproduction, rape and rate, racist and rapist. These words are connected, rhyme and reason, magic spell, pan and pun, and so on and so forth. Anagrams, cryptograms, and etymology and linguistics, and Masonic wordplay, lay. Nazi death rates, Western occult eugenic death rates, Zionist death rates, Zionist rates of consumption and taking over Palestine. Okay, this is how things work. So when I say they're doing something that some James Bond scientist motherfucker can come up with overnight, you're an idiot if you don't believe me. Okay? They found kind of nano dust, nanoparticles, or whatever they're doing, some kind of microscopic things that are undetectable in the water, that if I took it to a police lab and said, hey, they're drugging me, say, we didn't find anything in the water, we want you to take your medicine. Because they're on some bitch-ass shit. Pharmakeia even means sorcery. This is Western culture. It's not this occult guys like he in a trailer park. This is the core of Western culture. It is illusion. It is psychology. It is mythology. It is Dionysus, the theater of arts, the theater of war. All is fair in love and war. All is theater and illusion and confusion in love and war. That's what they believe. That's how they live their life. That's how they always have. They went to war with wigs and kind of suits on for the illusion effect and for the spirit-based effect. The spirit of an army, the spirit of a school spirit, the American spirit, the spirit of a church. And this is also where we get the kind of left-right paradigm where you'll have Catholics and other people in church, they have this kind of white moon energy. And it's really Luciferian energy, okay? And they're trying to make it seem like people like me, I demonize, right? Have a crazy look in his eye. They put a bunch of bipolar people out there and try to get them to mimic the look in their eye using the same remote control techniques. This is what's going on, okay? I'm the son of 2 doctors, 1 a brain surgeon. My explanation is logical. I've proven motive. I have 20 plus witnesses. This would go, if this went to court, they would be sure that something is going on, okay? Beyond any doubt. You can't then say, when they have motive and I have 20 witnesses, that it defaults with I'm mentally ill. That's fucking sick. That's that fucking racist bitch ass shit that no one who's ever respectable could respect. And shame on the society that takes that route. Thank you.